in a crap down scenario, like you want to make sure your wife is as happy as possible, so that she can be a 100% partner in getting stuff taken care of on a day to day.
Yeah,
If
you
she's
don't want to be
completely miserable
distracted.
and you didn't take care of those needs, like that's on you.
And here's my 2 bits is get the stuff now and have them try the products so that they're comfortable now, and that, no, I don't like this, let's try this. No, I don't like that, let's try that. Figure that out now, and so they're not uncomfortable when they're already uncomfortable.
Right.
I think that's a great thing to think about too, not just for the grab and goes, but if you have like your 90-day supply. I have my wife has a whole set of pads and tampons, and we have a stack, and we have in our pantry closet thing, we have a stack of all the feminine products. My daughters, I have 3 daughters. Well, 2 of them live with me. One of them has, needs that way. The other one's only 8 or 9 years old, so she's not there yet. But I have a stack of all that stuff. So, and a stash of all that stuff. And it's fun because, they'll yell from the, not to get too graphic, but they'll yell and say, "Hey, we're out of this." And I'll say, "Okay, good news. We don't have to run to the store because I got it downstairs in the pantry and I can just go and replenish." And then I have plenty, so that when I go to the store, I just replenish and refill that and just move that along. So it's not just food in your storage and in your stash. You've got to have these items. I have shampoos, I have soaps, I have toothpastes, I have, all of that. So it's just not just women's items. It's all the items for toiletries.
Get Motrin, get your Tylenol, get all the different medications used as well, because some of them are female specific. Like my wife has a lot of different prescriptions as well. They're not female specific, but she's got prescriptions we've got to have an advance of. And some of them we do, some of them we can't, right? Because of regulations. And we've got an episode coming up that you'll be all excited to hear more about that, because we've got some hacks for you. But I'm not going to spill the beans yet. That beans? We talked about beans earlier.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
got it. We got it.
I'm a punny guy, guys. I'm on one today.
Scott's killing it tonight. That's awesome. We promised at the beginning we'd do a deep dive into maybe grab and go. What are some there's different reasons to grab and go. There's if you have 30 seconds, what do you grab and go? If you have 3 hours, what do you grab and go? And probably what we're going to focus in on is the shorter time frames to grab and go. Like Scott shared it in one of our podcasts, that if you have a day to get ready, you could probably fill up too much. And so these bags are going to be the kind of bags that you want to just grab and go. Maybe you're in a situation where you're being burglarized. Maybe you're having a fire. Maybe there's an earthquake, and you just got to grab and go. So Scott, did you mentioned that was something that was going to be good to talk about?
Yeah, that's part of it. But the other part is like the 2 philosophies behind that. There's the go bag, like I'm going somewhere farther away. I'm relocating to friends and family, or I'm relocating to my bug out location that is already pre-prepared, already pre-stockpiled. And then there's also the scenario of a get home bag, which that's my favorite bag. Because I travel a lot and have for the years. I'm on the road all the time. And so if I'm 30 minutes away, it's not hard to get home. But if my car breaks down and the whole grid's down, that changes things. If I'm 3 hours away or 10 hours away, that changes things drastically. And so having the stuff in my car all the time to be able to get home is just as important as a go bag or bug out bag or 96-hour kit, whatever you want to call it, for an evacuation from home, whether it's planned or unplanned. Like unplanned would be the fires, the earthquakes, natural disasters, right? Martial law scenario where you're like, oh crap, time to get out of town. Right? Hopefully you're not stuck when those things happen, but like these are the things you need to make sure you have. For example, copies of pictures of everybody in the family, fresh pictures, so that you have identification for all of them. Not just IDs, but fresh pictures. Also, copies of important documents. And those can include, some people are like, oh yeah, you need your marriage certificates. I'm like, why? I don't know that you need that, but maybe if you want to put it all on a digital drive, you can have those things. But the most important things are your IDs, your pictures, and any important documentation you want to make sure you have access to later. I look at bank account information because maybe I can't take my laptop, but I've got, hopefully you've got memorized all of your logins, but have your account information. You don't have it all memorized.
No.
You're saying
Heck no.
No.
but I've got so many passwords up here and like different
it's
usernames.
ridiculous.
I'm like, yeah, I can't remember people's phone numbers, but I got all my passwords, and like we've replaced that part of our brains. But like have duplicates of those things, and not everybody has to carry all those things in all their bags. Like if you've got kids, don't put all that in their bag. That's your bag. And I would recommend, honestly, the important documents, put that in both you and your wife's bag, or you and your significant other's bag, because it's not a lot of stuff. And you can put it on a little thumb drive, or if you're like me, I like having it paper, so I don't have to stress about it. And if at all possible, in a Ziploc bag or waterproofed paper. But you can have like your passports, IDs, if you really want to have them, marriage license or your birth certificates, but important documents, family history, birth dates, user IDs and passwords, emergency phone numbers, channels and places you can look for additional information, maps. And like if you're in the woods or anywhere like that where you need to know what are my other alternate routes, national forest maps that show where all their roads are, the dirt roads, so you can find a way over a pass
too.
Yeah, physical.
One individual this weekend brought it up to me. You need to find this road. You need to have an UTV map. You have to have an off-road map for off-road vehicles. It won't show up on your standard topographical maps. Which, like, okay, cool. I'm going to go get those right now. So yeah, that's just something I learned this weekend.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where I would limit it on like the digital copies and paper copies. Like if you have all day, you're going to grab your photo albums and everything else. But if you don't, and you've just got to go, like if you're not loading your car up with all the other stuff, like I would load my car up with all the necessities I can take, the necessities, get our bags, get our water filters, and I've got all this staged, get our first aid kits, and then from there I go, okay, now we can add more food. Let's add more water and first aid, and then add more food.
Let me define what he means by staged. Like there's somebody right now listening to this thing like, oh yeah, I know, I got the birth certificates over there, and I've got the, the marriage certificate over there, and I got the, bank statements over there. I know where all that stuff is. I'll be able to get it. No. Staged means you have it already in a place where you can just grab it right now. If you don't know when the emergency is going to hit, it could hit in the next 30 minutes. It could hit tomorrow. It could hit next week. It could hit in 2 years. The point is that you got to have it ready right now and know where it is. I know where all my stuff is. This is a message. I'm telling you this because I need to hear it, by the way, this message. I know where all those things are. I know I have a file in upstairs, and I have a file downstairs, and there's things in each one of those files. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't have these things in one place to grab and go. I need to make the change. And so I want to just kind of admit that, and also make the commitment to make the change and get those things together, so that you're not that guy that's like, well, I know where everything is. And then it happens. You're like, crap, I don't have time to get it all.
Well, and you guys met Stan Pruitt of Urban Survivors. He taught me this, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I did this. So in my car, I always have my get home bag, and that doesn't have all the important documents. It's just enough stuff to get me home, and expecting up to 3 days to get home. Right. If I'm traveling farther, I need more stuff, and I have that in modules I can stack on. But if it's just to get home, I don't need all the important documents. I need cash, right? Because most likely ATMs and everything else is not going to work, or something worth value that I can trade. So I carry silver and stuff like that. But I've got to depart. I've got 2 of those bags personally. So in case I need to go, like get out of here, emergency, if I can't get to one, I should be able to get to the other at all times. And one's stored towards the front of the house, one's stored in the basement towards the back of the house. Like, and there's exits near both. I can get them and get out. So if I can't, like if I'm stuck in the basement, I can grab my bag and work my way around the house to the front and check on my wife and kids and get them out. And maybe I can get my other bag, or maybe I can't. But he taught me that because he's like, I've got it staged over here, and I've got them staged over here. And then he's like, and I'm working on another one over here. And I'm all, 1 is none, and 2 is 1.
And 3 is just enough.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I come from when I think of that. Is I learned that from someone who's far more experienced than I am. And again, a takeaway that helps me be better prepared.
Yeah, and I think I
That's
mentioned in our previous conversation about kits is that I've tried to build bags and kits, and they're never complete. There's always something missing. So I've decided to be as modular as possible. So I've got multiple layers, call them layers, and it's quite difficult to explain. But essentially, I've got the layer of my vehicle. I got the layer of the backpack in my vehicle. I've got the layer of what I carry on me and what I bring with me every day in my business bag. So that if, yes, I get stuck 3 days away from home, I take what I need from this kit. I take what I need from this kit or these modules and those modules, plug them in to my backpack and go as light as quick as possible. And, we have shared a list of items on our site, have we not? On our resources page.
Yep. Resources page, you can see we've got different sets of modules with one is the getting ready and where to start, and that goes into kind of our modular system. Mm-hmm. But then we also have the other one, which is just the what would you call it? It's the legacy system, which is more of like, here's the full list of everything you could possibly think of to put in. Mm-hmm. And if you did put all of it in, it's too heavy.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like you find out which works best for you. Do I need a knife and a crank solar radio and a battery powered radio and solar flashlights and flashlight and headlights? No, pick which of those make the most sense for you so that you have a streamlined bag that you can go.
Yeah.
And if it's shelter in place, it's a different scenario. It's more stuff and it's modular and staged.
And I think I'd like to share a few items that are maybe the lesser thought of items that stand out to me, because there's all the regular things, right? We talk about shelter. For me, shelter when I'm moving is a good Gore-Tex jacket, right? That's part of my kit. That's my shelter, and that's what I'm going to do to move quick to get home. Don't forget your toilet paper. You're going to want toilet paper, and that's gonna and an extra pair of socks, right?
And they have the kind of toilet paper that's more compact. So you don't have to big old fat double roll, mega roll. We're not talking about taking a mega roll. Get the camping.
You guys
there's
are
camping
crazy.
Toilet paper.
No, you're crazy.
You like?
I want to be able to use 80 pieces per wipe if I need to. Like I'm taking the whole roll.
You wouldn't believe how efficient I am, Scott. I'm extremely efficient.
I
practice every day. I practice being efficient every day.
Are we going to have a video training on that?
Heck no. No way. No. But okay, but here's something I was thinking about today is, this is a serious topic for me because I cover the entire state as part of my job. I am adding a folding bike to my truck here in the next few days. I'm going to put it. Only thing I had was like a skateboard, so I would throw that in my truck. Because I mentioned this before, I tried to walk 50 miles in a day, couldn't do it, and I was just walking, couldn't do it. So I need something else. So I got the skateboard in there. I'm going to add a folding bike to my truck. Another thing that I thought about is, I did not take into the account the goodwill of other people, on my way, especially the first few days of an emergency. Most people are not going to panic in the first couple of days. They can handle it. That's when I got to move. I got to get home quickly and take advantage of, and take advantage is the wrong word, but
utilize and enjoy.
Utilize exactly the goodwill of other people to be able to stay in their homes, to get some food or water, whatever I might need on my way. I guarantee there's going to be a lot of good people you'll find on the way. So I know I'll be overly prepared when I do have to walk back home, but having the right shoes, right socks, the things in between, because in Utah, when there's quite a bit of span, if I'm in St. George, 4-hour drive home, that's a full week, maybe 2 weeks of walking to get home, right? So there's a lot of stuff you need, but those are the main things. And definitely my weak spot is the documents as well. Same as you, Paris. I mean, that's something I need to work on. But also, I love having essential oils with me, just small vials of them. Keep the bugs off, keep my mood up. I mean, keep my headaches down, those types of things. Carrying I have a little, what I call a little possibles bag. And in that bag, I have small versions of, tiny compass, tiny glow sticks, right? I've got Band-Aids, I've got small duct tape, just kind of small version. And that could go from each bag. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about there, Scott. A little bit of pouch of essential oils. Yeah.